Minecraft speedrunning has been around for a long time, and with popular Minecraft players like Dream and streamers catching on to the trend, it's gotten pretty popular. However, with everything that's popular, there's gonna be people who want to ruin it, in this case, cheating during speedruns. Today we're going to be taking a look at these speedruns, which are fake so bad it's honestly hilarious. So sit back, relax, like this video, and I hope you enjoy. So our first run of the day goes by somebody named Manster, and we're gonna find out pretty fast that this speedrun is really funny. So Manster starts off the run by going for some flint, which I guess you could say is pretty common, and then he travels even farther and goes to collect some wood. However, you can notice that he's already 2 minutes in, which is way off the world record pace.
Bruh.
He decides to pause the timer, which if you guys aren't familiar with speedrunning, it's completely illegal to stop the timer in the middle of your run. So he then proceeds to fight this skeleton, which is completely unnecessary, and then he allows cheats in his world, which you're gonna find out later why he does that, and then he proceeds to run a command and restart his time. So at this point, he's literally 0 seconds in, he spawns in full netherite armor and goes to make a nether portal. So at 53 seconds, he already has full netherite armor and is about to enter the nether, which is just absolutely crazy. So he enters the nether at a time of 1:30, which is way on the world record pace, and he builds up, and then he tries to spawn in some steak with a command, which he fails after a piglin comes and hits him. But don't worry, he's still gonna get the steak because, man, the steak is really important for the run. So he gets the steak and he continues to look for a fortress, which he eventually does at 3 minutes and 40 seconds in. Wink wink. But at this point, he actually has a pretty good pace going. He finds the blaze spawner, which he hits with his netherite sword, and then he proceeds to just spawn in some blaze rods of his own, which he miraculously finds on the way of exiting the fortress. He then finds a chest, a literally chest with literal ender pearls in it, all the ender pearls you could ever need, and at 6 minutes he's escaping the nether, which is, you know, on par to get a world record time. So he enters the portal, and now he is trying to find the strongholds to find the end portal. So he begins, he runs a few commands, which I don't even know what he did, but he somehow summons an elytra and starts fireworking himself across the island to go faster to find the strongholds. And after he does this, he decides he's just too tired of doing that, so he locates the stronghold through a command which he runs, and then he just teleports to it. Yeah, this is completely not allowed in a speedrun if you haven't caught on yet. After that, he goes into spectator mode, literal spectator mode, and flies around to try to find the end portal. And once he finds the end portal, would you look at that? The timer has reset again, and he's entering the end at 40 seconds. He's on pace to get a world record. He flies around with his elytra and fireworks, which I don't even understand how he got this looking back at the speedrun, and he just flies around taking through all the crystals with ease. And after he breaks the last crystal, he jumps down on half a heart, but not to worry, he has insane armor, so he just goes around, tries to kill the ender dragon the old-fashioned way, which this is not the way you do it on a speedrun. He then defeats the ender dragon. Wow, that's crazy. Jumps in, and he has finished the run with a time of 4 minutes and 45 seconds. Which, if he submitted this, he would get a world record, but obviously due to his many cheats, it was rejected. Now, looking back, I'm not sure if this guy was just a complete idiot or if he was trolling, but either way, this was a hilarious speedrun, so let's get on to the next one. So our next speedrun comes from somebody named Jack, and unlike the last speedrun, I'm almost certain that this is a troll and it's being ironic. However, this still fits into one of the most hilarious speedruns ever, just to how perfectly it's planned and how obvious the cuts are. But without any further ado, let's watch the speedrun. So our first sign that the speedrun is fake is how at the start of the video, it's a completely random seed, but here as the loading screen freezes, he changes it to a set seed, which is obviously not allowed in a speedrun because a set seed can be much more overpowered than a randomly generated seed that you spawn in. So Jack spawns in the world, he pretends that he's in completely random seed as he looks around, and the run begins as he finds a nearby desert temple. Oh my god, how lucky could he get? No, this is just a set seed. Anyway, he manages to mine some dead bushes to get some sticks, so it appears he has at least a little bit of speedrun knowledge, but as he's going into the temple, we're gonna see that, yeah, this is completely a troll. So he goes into the desert temple, and he starts to mine down to get to the chest down below, and strategically, he actually avoids the pressure plate at this point, so no TNT blows up. He searched through the chests, and there's not really much loot that he can use, and as he's searching through the final chest, he accidentally steps on the pressure plate. So he pretends to build up to get out of it, but oh no, he gets blown up straight into the end portal. He's in the end at 40 seconds, and if you appear, the dragon is at 0 health, so all he has to do is hit it one time. So he shoots his arrows, which he still misses a lot of. Even an experienced speedrunner would have hit these shots, but finally he hits the ender dragon and kills it in 1 minute. So he makes sure there's no fire around, and he enters the end of the game, and he's completed the run around 1 minute and 10 seconds, which would absolutely be shattering the world record. But of course, this was a completely set seed, so if he would have submitted it, or if he did submit it, this would 100% not count. But I have it to give it to him. It's honestly a pretty decent splice attempt. If you don't understand how splicing works at the beginning, you would have assumed that this was just incredibly lucky, but of course we know that this was fake, so let's move on to the final speedrun. So our final speedrun comes from Cool Kid 95, and with this one, I don't actually think it was a troll. I'm pretty sure this is just a young kid who has no idea what the official rules are, but nevertheless, it's a really funny speedrun, so let's get into it. So Cool Kid begins his speedrun, and so far, it looks pretty normal, besides the fact that he immediately changes the game mode to survival once it was created before. He goes ahead and tries to mine some trees, and then he breaks the starting chest, which happens to contain a lot of netherite armor. That's crazy lucky. Oh my gosh, it even has an insane apple. Now, at this point, he decides to go and actually starts mining down at a random spot and finds a shulker box with all the items he would ever need to complete a speedrun in one shulker box at a random location. That's crazy. So once he gets all of his stuff from the shulker box, I assume he's trying to go along and find his nether portal or something similar to that, but with all of his items, he ends up finding a random end portal conveniently located right next to where he spawned. So he jumps in the end portal, and at 2 minutes, he's already in the end, which is crazy, on world record pace. So I'm gonna put a time lapse here, but he takes forever to mine up to get to the actual area where you can fight the dragon, but once he finally does, he opens up to the dragon, and he begins his fight. He starts off by taking an enchanted gold apple and starts to fight this enderman, which is really completely useless in this part of the speedrun, and he starts to run towards where the dragon is. But miraculously, he finds another random shulker box, which he then fights and takes another enchanted golden apple because, well, of course, he has 64. He has plenty to spare. So after he flies up, he tries to make it to the top, but it appears that he is having a little bit of trouble. I don't think this guy is necessarily the best, but he starts to break all the crystals, and he sees the dragon flying around, so he tries to fall back down, but the dragon starts hitting him off, and he literally dies. He doesn't even complete the speedrun. This guy just does the speedrun, and just like that, the speedrun completely is over. So this guy submits a speedrun, doesn't even kill the ender dragon, even after he attempts to get all the items in the game and still fails. I'm pretty sure this was made by a young kid probably, who didn't fully understand the rules, and you can tell that he wasn't the best player skillfully, but that was still a really funny run, and that's gonna wrap up the last speedrun.